Serene. Welcome to SME Virtual Series, brought to you by People 4.0, a community for SME that's passionate about IR 4.0 and business digitalization. In this SME Virtual Series, we discuss with experts on various matters regarding business digitalization for SME. For those who are first time joining us today, welcome and just say hi in the comment section below. You will also get to join our IR 4.0 business community, a platform to promote your products and services to other business people and networking opportunities. Isn't that fantastic? Okay, so today is the last episode for SME Virtual Series, and we have something really special for our viewers. Type in yes if you want to get this special gift in the last episode. Alright? Okay, let me see your comments coming in. Yes, I see someone commented. Yes. Alright, so today's special giveaway is a machine learning box. This machine learning box is a simple plug and play device specially configured and designed to run AI predictive analytics for SME data in an easy, practical, and cost-efficient way. And we are giving away one machine learning box for free. All you need to do is to share this live session on your Facebook for a chance to win. Let us know in the comment below that you have shared, and we will announce the winner at the end of the episode. So don't go anywhere and wait till the end for the announcement. Today, we are going to talk about positioning your brand digitally. We have special invited guests from Axiata Digital Services and Boost. I'm sure many of you are wondering what this is all about. So without further ado, let's get started. Enjoy the show. Imagine doing business every day without paper, robots efficiently assembling your products, and parts being produced instantly from an automated printer. Won't this put you above your competitors in your industry? That's what Industry 4.0 enables for us. New avenue for growth and success with digital tools and applications. Hi, I'm Serene and welcome to People 4.0, a community of digital leaders and people who are passionate to support every SME entrepreneur's journey into digital transformation. In this community, we will guide you to transform your business digitally, making it more profitable without spending much time and money. By being part of this community, you gain access to insightful activities, webinars, and the opportunity to network with other like-minded people and leaders. Sign up today for a chance to enjoy one-day free training session worth 500 ringgit and other benefits. And catch our monthly webinars to gain insights on digital transformation and how it can change the way you grow your business. Optimize your business productivity and efficiency with People 4.0 today.
Hello everyone, this is Alan here again. Welcome to People 4.0 SME Virtual Series. I hope everybody have a good day today. Today's episode is titled Cementing Your Brand in Digital World. In this alarming pandemic situation, many entrepreneurs take this opportunity to further enhance the branding of the product and services that they offer. And they choose online digital platform to promote their offering. In fact, 90% of Malaysians are living online nowadays. And this is the reason why actually digital skill become an important skill in Malaysia right now. In today's episode, our special guest will talk about cementing your brand position through the digital world. From finding the right audience for your brand, for creating an effective brand image. Our guest have successfully solidified the brand image of Axiata Digital. As a team, they built the brand image for Boost e-wallet at a time when Malaysia was just beginning to embrace digitalization. Let us welcome Mr. Eric Chong and Unku here. Hi.
Hi.
Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening, Mr. Eric and Ms. Unku here. Miss Unku and actually Eric here. Can you just share a little bit about your background, your experience, and how you get involved in this telecommunication industry?
Yeah, so let me start. I'm now the Director of Merchants in Axiata Digital Services, managing Boost services. I've been in the technology and telecom sector for the past 20-odd years, mostly in senior leadership positions, managing product development, marketing, and sales. So that's a very short and brief update about me. I would like to now pass on to my colleague, Unku Liza, who will give a bit about herself as well.
Thanks, Eric. Hello, Alan. Hi,
Hello.
everyone. Fellow audience in the Facebook. My name is Unku Liza. I actually came from IBM.
All right.
And I was from a finance background.
Wow.
Wow, what a
Very
change, huh?
different, very different.
But that shows that everything is possible in this digital age. Yeah. So I started off in IBM and thereafter joined the Axiata Group as the head of business planning, where we were responsible to make sure that the yearly target is being set by all our operating companies. And thereafter, I was with our CEO, Mohammad Khairi Abdullah, started the journey of Axiata Digital back in 2013, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so that was the beginning of me jumping into the telco industry and now into the digital businesses.
From finance, then to a field that's very different, right? Okay. Let us actually talk a little bit more about SME first before we go into branding, because most of the audience that we have is actually SME background. We were told that there's about 300 to 400 people registered, but out of my surprise, the eyeball is not encouraging at this moment. So can I get everybody to actually like or share so that we can actually got more people benefit from this topic? The topic about SME, the topic about digitalization here. Maybe the first question from the audience is that in support of government initiative towards cashless and also cashless society, e-wallet is playing a big role in this year. So maybe can I know what is the percentage of Boost e-wallet usage right now in SME, and what are the initiatives that actually Boost has actually come up to help the SME?
Okay, so let me answer that. So Boost, as of today, we have close to 220,000 merchants.
Wow. Okay.
Out of which 60% are SMEs, right? And when I mention SMEs, we obviously categorize them further by tier 3, tier 4, and nanos, right? And when I mention nanos here means the food courts and pasar malam merchants as well. So quite a good mix of merchants. The other 40% are the tier 1, tier 2 brands. So these are the big brands and big corporates. So in total, 220,000 merchants already.
So in terms of actually assisting the SME here, what are the policy in place by Boost here in helping the SME to improve their presence in the digitalization platform?
Yeah, so when we started Boost, we started as a consumer brand.
All right.
So that's how we started and to build the brand and be relevant to the consumer. But then we quickly also realized that we also need the support, especially the SMEs and the micro SMEs, because we quickly realized that the micro SMEs are the underserved and a lot of micro SMEs don't have access to a formal financial support mechanism. So we quickly also pivot to what I call it, a merchant app, a merchant solution. And that accelerated this year, especially with the COVID. So that accelerated the whole merchant digitization. So we started actually during the second week of the first MCO. We launched our first micro lending to the merchants, right? So merchants can borrow money or can lend up to or from 1,000 ringgit to 20,000 ringgit, right? So for such a small amount, the banks obviously will not entertain such small loan amount, right? So we provided that, and that helped a lot of the merchants to continue to sustain their business during this period. And on top of that, we launch, we help the merchants, especially SMEs, to go from offline to online, helping the merchants to set up their portal, helping them to build the catalog. We also launch our own digital marketplace where these merchants can be shared with our 9 million consumers.
Okay.
So the 9 million consumers. So we actually did a campaign with these merchants so that our consumers can go and buy from the merchants. So we're not just a typical e-wallet. We're not just a payment mechanism. We help merchants in the area of lending and insurance, and we build that whole digital advertising mechanism, and build that ecosystem for the SMEs as well.
All right.
I think, Alan, if I can add also, Eric, if we go back to the core fundamental why Boost was initially founded, right?
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to help the underserved and the unserved, right?
Yep.
And because of that, we know from day one that making Boost a household brand name is just not from a consumer perspective, but how do we then go and help this underserved segment, of which is clearly evident now within the number of merchants that we have just now, as Eric pointed out, 200 plus merchant base, right? 60% here, Eric, it was 60%, right? Is actually coming from the tier 3, tier 4, or the SME businesses. And see now that we have laid that foundation, how else can we help them in terms of monetizing and further helping them into the digitizing their businesses?
That is actually something that's remarkable. Maybe since we have so many SMEs here, can Mr. Eric can share a little bit about any success story they can share, any homegrown brand that actually is on Boost platform, and so that the SME can actually follow the footsteps?
Oh, okay. That's a lot, actually.
That's a okay.
Because we have 220,000 merchants, right? So there's a lot. All I can say is this, right? So we have merchants from the food court, the char kway teow fella, nasi lemak seller, food trucks, right? We provided them with the digital solution, and these merchants quickly realize that they have no choice but to go digital. For them, the first step to go digital is through the payment mechanism, because the consumer demand cashless transaction, right? They do not want to touch currency because of the COVID situation, right? So very quickly they pivoted to that, so that accelerated the whole process. We've also built the payment link where the customers can WhatsApp a merchant or char kway teow seller, and then the char kway teow seller will just send a payment link to the customer, and then the customer will just one click pay, and then that's it, right? So it has become very seamless in the process, right? So yeah, I wouldn't name names because there's so many of them, right? So
maybe all these char kway teow, pachi machi here, it means which they are micro or SME here. How can SME companies collaborate with Boost on their brand presence? Let us gear towards the branding part really, right?
yeah, so maybe Lisa, you to take the branding question.
Oh, okay. How do we build, right? I think maybe the first thing is, and this is basically just sharing the Boost journey as well, right? First part is realization.
Realization. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Realization.
Right? The business needs to realize, or at least have the verge to feel that, hey, I've got to shift, I've got to change, I've got to think of a new way of doing business, right? And that's exactly how Boost actually started. We knew that our core revenue back then, the telco core revenue, was under threat, right? Because of WhatsApp, because of the Google of the world, because of OTT players. And we say that, hey, how do we pivot? So I think the first one is realization. Number two, get yourself registered with, for example, Boost as your payment option. But it's just not merely payment option, right? Understand that what can service provider then offer SME in terms of, number one, marketing their product and services. And that's where the program under Boost is actually being crafted. One, we help businesses to register their business online, right? Number two, once you are onboarded, we will then use our platform, which currently is our app, to then list down your services so that we help you then market your product as well to the base that we have, so that we meet or we be this marketplace that marry both the consumer demand and the product and offerings that you have. Number three, which is quite, I think, critical, is after you've seen all this transaction being made easy by digital, how do we then use the data to help the business to further understand your customer? And I think it may be something new, or it may even be something that very loosely being used, i.e. data analytics.
Yep.
Yeah. But in the past, when businesses are offline, they are not able to understand the customer better. And for business entrepreneur, what else is important than to understand your customer needs?
Yep.
Yeah. So from taking your business from offline to online, you're able to understand your customer better, able to position your brand better as well, by having all this assistance from partners like Boost, right?
Yep.
Sorry, I'm deviating a bit, but I wanted to share what needs to be done first before you actually build your brand.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe now, if I want to go a little bit into branding, I think what would be good, and I believe a lot of us are exposed to social media platform. I don't know whether you guys have realized, or at least have captured this story about this pilot that did this smash burger in Shah Alam.
Oh yeah. I saw
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. So the first thing I think that actually attracted people to what he is selling is your unique identity, right? Which is what Boost also started off by having a unique identity by the prominent red color, right? So find something that is unique for your business to identify you, right? That is different from one another. And number two, like I mentioned just now, once you are onboarded into a digital platform, it will give you a little bit more color into your customer preference, your customer behavior, and you're able to position your customers' need, what your how you want to appear to them better, right? And obviously the third one is using social media. to create that awareness, to create that interaction, to create that engagement with your consumer. Yeah.
Okay, good. Before I continue with my next question, let us just look at the chat box right now. Oh, there's a very interesting question to both of you here.
Okay.
I guess this lady probably sell durian here. Is there any durian seller on Boost platform?
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
yes, we do.
Right.
So for those of you who are familiar, for example, right, in SS2.
SS2, yes.
SS2, yes, SS2.
Yeah. So you can boost your durian there. Is the right term?
Right. Right. So for this lady here, just to let you know that you should sign up Boost platform soonest the better, right?
Yeah, because we can help you to market your product to our 9 million customer base, right? So
Yeah.
the interesting thing also for us is that we can build a campaign around her community, right? So depends on where she is. So let's say if her store is in SS2, then we can start to market the products in SS2, Damansara area. So then you have a close user loop, right? So we can market within your neighborhood. Right? So that's how sophisticated we have come, like what Ukuleza said, right? Using data analytics as a tool to market the products.
All right. Okay. Yes, data is important. So maybe the next question that probably this lady have to find out is how many durian seller there are in SS2 then. Okay. Maybe the next question is actually from Winter. How do strong branding, brand building need a lot of advertisement? Dongku, maybe this question is meant for you.
I used to think so, but I don't believe with the digital age at this point in time, especially for SMEs.
All right. Okay.
That we require that significant cost of investment. And I do think that if we read the social media as well, there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there, right? And they actually uses the IGs, the Facebook as a platform for them to market their product. So that's why I guess for now, it has shifted. In the past, yes, you use a lot of traditional branding tools such as the ATL or billboards, right, to make your brand more prominent. But for now, the power of social media, if you know how to market it, that's why I said number one, identity is very important. Number two, if you know where to market it, i.e. the customer segmentation, by using the data analytics that digital platform like Boost can help, I think that would be an alternative way, which is cheaper as well. In fact, for Boost, we have reduced significantly our ATL or traditional branding, right? And we go mainly on social platform.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So let me add, right? So in this digital age and environment, speed is critical, right? So if you use social media, that's where you drive speed in terms of communication with your customers or with the customers that you don't have. Right? I think that's very important, using digital way means to achieve that. And also for all brands, and especially for SMEs, I think you will need to adapt social currency very quickly, because that's the fastest way and the best way to connect with your customers, right? And even global leaders, they're using social media, right? So whether you love Donald Trump or you hate him, but he's the prime example of a social media. I won't call freak, but the moment he wakes up, he's on Twitter, he's on Facebook, and he's built a brand for himself, right? Whether you like it or not, and his messages have gone to his base, right? So during the recent US election, I think it was like 75 million people voted for him.
Yeah.
That's a lot as well, right? So for SMEs, I think this is the right time to go digital. Now, when I say go digital, it's not just about advertising. You should go digital in the way you run your business. How do you digitize operations? How do you digitize your payments? How do you and when I say payments, it's not just receiving payments, but how do you digitize payments, as in to your suppliers or to your vendors? So I think that's the new thing, right?
Yeah, right. Oh, we have one gentleman here that's so kind that actually did a summary what Nku has mentioned. So there's a couple of things. First is digital realization. All right, and then after secondly is meet user requirement and stay different from your competitor. So Nku, is that right?
Yeah, he got it spot on.
Yeah, number 3 is data analytic and meet customer need. And number 4 is social media for engagement. Okay, thank you, Kelvin, for that. Right.
Thank you, Kelvin. Well done.
I think the Miss Durian still got another question for you here. Right. Okay. Thank you for answer the question. My family own a durian orchard in Raut, and we would like to try.
That's my hometown.
That's
my hometown.
Wow, I think probably that she did some study about you then, I guess. We have been selling durian throughout the MCO period and not yet explore the e-wallet option. We will definitely consider Boost. Wow, okay. So I guess
that's good.
For all the SME viewers here, please don't hesitate. Sign up Boost as soon as possible then, alright? Okay.
Yes.
And there's a question from Ilman. Okay, how do you think Boost would compare in the e-wallet market now with the new MAE app from Maybank and Grab's Touch and Go as well? Alright, okay. So there's more and more e-wallet what I call operator right now. So how do you stay yourself competitive on that?
Well, the e-wallets today are a payment mechanism, right? And like the SMEs themselves, Boost is also trying. It's also evolving, right? And we also pivoting our businesses as well and building use cases to stay relevant to our customers and to our merchants. So for the consumer side, we have built quite a robust use case, especially in the area of telcos, in the area of bill payments, right? And even entertainment and parking as well, right? So we built that use cases so that we remain relevant to the customers. Now, for the merchants, obviously, and for the SMEs, obviously, like I mentioned just now, we are not just a wallet, right? So we have pivoted to financial services, which is lending and insurance. And we're building a lot more, right? Which will help the merchants to digitize their operations. Now, for the SMEs themselves, right? Other than the wallets, I think the SMEs themselves during this period, they will also need to start thinking about how do they evolve, how do they stay relevant, and how do they also try to pivot their businesses as well. Right? So hopefully I've answered that question.
So
if I can add?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I add?
Please.
So to that question, right? The more the merrier, no? So it keeps the spirit desires winning, burning, right? And on a serious note, for Boost, we've always thought of two ways that it completes the ecosystem, right? The customer and also the business. From a customer point of view, our ambition, or at least our aspiration in the past, has always about how do we start making Malaysia cashless. And to do that, we make sure that Boost is everywhere, at least in a circle of life of a consumer, which then position Boost as a complete lifestyle app, as what Eric is saying, right? You can use Boost for bill payment, you can use Boost for parking, you can use Boost for paying your PTPN loans. You can shop online, and then a lot more other things that we can do from a consumer perspective. From a merchant perspective, from a business perspective now, which is exactly what Eric and the team is doing, is to cement and anchor how else do we replicate the success of a consumer front to the merchant by first educating them and making them aware that businesses needs to pivot, giving them the platform now to come join the evolution of cashless, giving them tools and giving them assistance in terms of loans, micro insurance, to then expand their business. And finally, use all the analytics and all the fancy jargon about marketing tool to help further reach to their customers. So that would be our differentiated product and positioning in terms of the rest of the competitor.
I got one final point, and that is we welcome the other e-wallet brands. The reason for that is because our competitors is cash, right? And that's why we said we want to drive cashless transaction. So the more brands we have in the market, the faster we will be able to drive that cashless adoption. So we've always very open, right? And we also always welcome other brands. We don't call them our competitors. We see them as a comrade in arms, helping us to drive the cashless environment, right?
Right, great. Speed is critical, like Mr. Eric said, and actually competition is welcome. Great. I'm sure the next one will be collaboration as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So I guess there's a lot of engaging question here. There's another question from Kelvin. Can online service also can achieve same result using Boost platform?
Maybe you want to elaborate the question?
Yeah.
Or maybe Kevin, if you hear this, maybe you can elaborate more on that, right? Okay. And there is actually another one. There is limited API access for a payment. Will Boost provide the payment API for collaboration for private SME website?
For what? Again, sorry, the last statement.
Okay. Will Boost provide the payment API for collaboration for private SME website? Maybe what he meant is, can they access this Boost through their company website? I believe.
Look, as long as the requirement is in the area of digital payment, wallet, right, and digital services, we should be able to collaborate. We've collaborated with a lot of big companies. So let me give an example, right? So we have what we call a partner wallet, right? And the best example I can give, I know there are a lot, but the best example I can give is Sunshine in Penang. Right? So I'm not sure there is anybody from Penang, right? So what we did is we collaborated with Sunshine, where they pay their staff allowances into partner wallet. So that means that it's almost like a Boost wallet, right, within their environment, and then the staff will be able to use the allowances through the Boost e-wallet. So yeah, so we've done quite a lot of this type of collaboration, and I think Uncle Lisa have also done quite a lot of partnerships with
integration actually.
Integration.
Yeah,
Integration. We've done that integration. We've done integration or partnership through a third party, the payment gateways. So there are quite a lot of payment gateways out there. So we collaborated with them to bring that service to the SME.
Yeah. So if the question is whether or not we can create an API into a specific company or business's website? The answer is yes. We've done a lot of API integration before. If your business are also in app, we can also build an API that talks directly to your app as well, and vice versa. So Ken, please reach out to us. We're able to then help to see how we can integrate your businesses to the Boost platform.
Just one question. How can they reach out to Boost it? How?
You can take my email address now.
Yeah.
It's
our email addresses.
Yeah, it's unkuliza@axiatadigital.com.
Okay,
mine is Eric@axiatadigital.com.
Uncle, you allow us to actually display your email later?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, maybe at the end. Yeah.
All right, good.
Yeah.
There's another question from Mr. Leong, David Leong. Is there any plan to educate and to cover kampung areas?
Of course. Eric.
Yeah. So when we started this journey, we were very much in the urban area. Okay. As a start. And then after that, we started moving towards the suburban, right? The tier two towns and cities. We are Malaysian wide from a merchant based perspective. We just set up Eastern region, East Coast, right? We're in Sabah and Sarawak. Talking about Sabah and Sarawak, I can tell you that Sabah and Sarawak are our flag bearers in this moment, doing extremely well in Sabah and Sarawak. So we're everywhere, right? So when we started this journey, I just want to go back. That was 3 years ago, right? Because we just celebrated our 3 years anniversary. It was, I would say it's a painful process, right? Reason for that is because we were the first wallet in the market, so we were the pioneers, right?
All right. Okay.
Spend a lot of time educating the customers and also the merchants, especially the nanos, the char kway teow fella, and the pasar malam fella.
And maybe durian seller as well.
Exactly, right? And durian sellers as well, right? So we spend a lot of time on ground. So some things you cannot do digitally. Some things you have to do offline, right? So the brick and mortar method, right? In terms of visiting every single store, talking to them, teaching them, educating them what is good. So we definitely want to reach out to more towns this year or next year. Right?
All right, great. There's a question here. Wow, today we have many questions from the group here. Can advise on way to strengthen consumer perception on brand image? I'm sure this is a very, very relevant question for SME here. All SME are looking for ways to actually brand themselves better so that they can actually capture their attention in the digital world. So maybe Uncle or Mr. Eric, can you help to answer this question?
Let me Lisa.
Sure. The brand image, is it? Or perception,
brand
right?
Image, yes.
Yeah, okay. Sure, I can share. I think first of all, sometimes people always think that brand, like one of the questions just now, brand requires a lot of investment. Yes, maybe once upon a time. But I think now the brand, who carries the brand, right? Is us. Yeah. Is the employee of the company or even the entrepreneur himself or the owner of the business, right? So I think the first one is carrying yourself to stay true to what your product and what your services are is very, very important. Why? Because you are literally accessible via the social media, right? So what you portray actually reflects the brand that you carry. Number two, and this stays true, I guess, is the promise to the customers. What is the quality of your product? What is your service delivery time? And how do you make the customer's life easier for you? And that is really the mantra and the principle that we hold in Boost, right? Don't try to make your customers' life as easy and seamless as possible, because a lot of things nowadays can be easily replicated. What makes you stand out as a product differentiator or service differentiator is your customer service or your promise to your customer. So I think that's the two important principle, I guess, for you to uphold your brand image and your perception to your customer.
All right, great. So easy, seamless, and probably also convenient to the customers. So customer service is key as well in terms of brand image here.
Yeah.
There's actually a question here. Like Mr. Eric has actually mentioned it just now. When you all started here, you do a lot of roadshow here. So the question is, Axiata Digital, how does Axiata Digital build the Boost branding from the very beginning? I'm sure the first 12 months will be very, very critical. A lot of people do not know what is actually Boost or e-wallet here. Besides education, what else that you actually do? I'm sure it's a tough journey for what they call Boost as well, I suppose.
Lisa?
Oh, me also. Okay.
Okay.
How did Axiata Digital? What's the question again, Alan?
So that means the question is actually how did Axiata Digital build Boost brand image from the very beginning? I'm sure I heard about it. It's about 3 years now already. Okay. Beside what they call the roadshow, what else do you do there? I think the SME is trying to learn from you guys how they can become gigantic in 3 years' time.
Well, wow. Okay. Just thinking of how we started, right? Boost started. The first one is very clear mission and goals into what we are trying to achieve here.
Right.
At that point, we want to build a cashless Malaysia, right? And the one tagline that we stay true up until now, if we want to build something for Malaysia, it has to be built by Malaysians for Malaysians, right? And then we're very, very proud up until today to hold on to that mantra as well. So clear, objective, and goals. What do we want to do? Have that end in mind is very, very important. Secondly, I think what was the pain points that we're trying to address? Going back to the customer needs again, right? Just now, it's all interrelated just now when I mentioned how do we make sure that the perception of the brand remains intact. It's really trying to solve the problem for the consumer. How do I make it easier for the customer that I'm serving? How do I serve them better? I think that was one of our strong value proposition, or at least service delivery, to help build the Boost brand in the market, right? And the third one, I guess, is the engagement on the ground. As what Eric is saying, engagement on the ground, engagement in social media. We were relentless, not just on going out to the market with the social platform as IG, Facebook, and whatnot. But I think going to the ground and making people understand what we are trying to achieve at that point in time, going to the Pasar Malam, the Pakcik Pasar Malam, I remember it was a really painful journey. I went to Setia Alam Pasar Malam, I went to SS2 Pasar Malam, Taman 2 Pasar Malam, trying to sell Boost, right? But ultimately, I think that is one of the satisfaction that you will get if you continue to believe in your objective and your goals of your business, right? Engagement with user interaction, engagement with user via social media, via all the social platform that you have at this today, would actually help building your brand ultimately.
All right, great. I guess it's a very exciting yet challenging journey for the past 36 months. I guess the thing that holds you guys together is still the mission to make the Malaysian society a cashless society. Am I right?
Yeah.
There's actually another question. What are some of the do and don'ts of branding in the digital world? There's a lot of questions on branding, right?
Do's and don'ts.
Yeah.
Do I take this as well, Eric?
Yeah, right up your alley.
Okay. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I apologize if I sound like a broken record, right? I guess the do's are really know your audience.
Know your audience, right?
Know your audience, know your consumer, know what appeals to them, and like I said, that brand identity. What product are you trying to push forward to your customer? Right? I think that is really something that we need to put in a little bit more work in terms of research and data. It actually helps. I remember this one case in my conversation with our analytics team, right? In the past, I think if you want to open a shop in an alley of shop lots, you just think, okay, how many people would come? Is the feng shui better at the end corner shop, or is it at the first floor and whatnot, right? It's all by gut feel. But I think now with the use of data, you can understand what's the population like, where do they normally go shop, what's the peak hours and whatnot. And I do think that kind of data is really, really important, right? So know your customer, gather as much research as you can. I guess I'm not in a position to tell you guys all this. You guys are all the typos of SMEs, right? Number two, I guess for the do's is always stay relevant and updated. And stay relevant and updated. And it goes back to my earlier point just now on realization. You've got to think, you've got to make that decision now. Hey, do I pivot now, right? Do I start this scary journey into the digital world? You have to. Even giants like Axiata Digital realized this 7 years ago when we first pivoted into digital, right? And for a big company to realize, I think with a smaller scale, you guys have controls into what you guys can do and make decisions to chart your future. I think that's the do's. The don'ts, maybe just don't be rude to your customer. And you know how, again, the power of social media and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
One bad review would actually just wipe out like the whole 5 years to 10 years of hard work, right? So again, the core is always customer. How do you make their lives better? How do you serve them better? And try to manage them better as well. And customer is always right anyway. Maybe the don'ts as well. Don't ignore the trends.
Don't ignore the
right?
trend.
Yeah, don't ignore the trends. If you're not comfortable, that's where I guess you start maybe reading. And really understanding in terms of how can you just put your one foot into the digital world, all right? And here we are in this forum. I would really encourage all of you, if you guys are not comfortable having this conversation about how do I pivot my business from offline to online, use this forum to start asking a lot of questions on how do you make that first step, right? Because the difficult action is always taking that first step. And number two, once you have, thereafter, once you make that step, you need to continuously learn how to use your digital platform to further expand and monetize or even grow your business, right? Because we can tell you that we being in the digital business for almost 7 years now too, are constantly learning on a daily basis. The speed of business is just tremendously fast at this point in time with this age that you've got to just keep up with the trend.
So let me add, right? I think the two things to say. One is, as much as you know your customers, you need to know your competitors as well.
Yeah.
But how do you differentiate yourself from your competitors, right? Is the product delivery the same? If it's the same, then how do you differentiate? Right? So back to the question that was asked of us, right? How do we differentiate ourselves with the other e-wallets in the market? Now, to the other point I want to make is, and this is to encourage the SMEs here to go online and to go digital. So one example is there was a hardware store in Penang. And during the first MCO, all shops are closed, right? And his business suffered a lot. And then he found out he came to the bright side, which is to go online. And today, so initially he was just serving his community, right, within that area. But then today, we found out that he's now countrywide. He cannot cope with the demand for his products now. And that's just going online. So I really encourage SMEs here to really think about going online, choosing a right partner to help you through that journey, and also to ensure that you are able to quickly market your products and services with a partner who can bring you that customer base, right? So I think that's something to think about, right? So yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe I can just share, right? And this is real example as well, because I was there last week. So burger in the past, when we go out there, it's always this Ramly burger where it's physical, right?
Yes.
But this pilot story, he uses social media, and of course maybe he got lucky as well. But the point here is, I went there on last Sunday because I wanted to check out what's the big hoo-ha all about, right? And that's part of my job as well in marketing, to see what's so great about this burger. But then he as I approached his stall, he said, sorry kak, burger dah fully booked sampai Khamis minggu depan.
Oh my God.
Yes. So I was shocked. It's like, what? Then why are you opening? I'm just cooking and just doing all my backlogs burger now. I can't take any more orders. I did a mistake because I opened up on my Facebook. I gave my WhatsApp business number, and orders just came in. And they are now struggling to complete or fulfill the order, right? But the point of the story here is, the businesses are pivoting, businesses are changing. You've got to take that opportunity. You can do it yourself. If you are lucky, you probably can be the next pilot burger. But if you don't, I think that's where you partner with companies, a service provider like Boost, that can together help you grow your business in the digital age.
All right. Okay. Mr. Eric, I think we have a serious prospect for you right now. The question is, what is the range of commission charged to the business outlet from small to big companies? I think this Mr. Tan is serious to become your customers, right?
Well, okay. So today we only charge 1%.
1%, right?
1%, yeah. So yeah. So that's that. But then if you're a micro SME, we will charge below 1%, right? So that's where we are.
That's a range, right, Eric?
There's a range. So it's a range of between 0.5 to 1%. So depending on your category, and also depending on whether you are going direct through Boost or whether you're going through a payment gateway, right? So that's a difference in the charging, but nothing more than 1%.
All right. Okay. So for all the online SME owner here, wait no more, right? Okay, less than 1% for micro SME, right?
So just to add on, Alan, sorry, right? So
okay.
I would suggest that the SMEs do not think about the 1%, right? I would suggest that they think about the example that Lisa gave and the one that I gave, where if you work through, I'm not just saying through Boost, but all the other companies as well, we can bring you to a digital environment and help you grow your business very quickly. And again, bear in mind, right, that we have 9 million customers. We can market your products to 9 million customers.
Yeah.
That's the power that we have, right? And that's how we've helped quite a lot of the merchants as well, the other businesses.
All right, great. Okay. Actually, there's a few more questions here, but my colleague has actually reminded me we only have another 5 more minutes here.
Oh, really?
So,
Oh,
yeah,
thanks.
let's fly here, right? Okay. And maybe to wrap up this session here, probably Mr. Eric or Ms. Unku here, what is your advice for those SME in Malaysia who has not adopted an e-wallet to grow their presence? The last advice from two of you.
Well, I would say, if you haven't, I think you need to do it.
Yeah, do it now, right?
The reason why I said that is because, right, the customers have changed. The behavior have changed, right?
Yeah.
Especially during this period, there's a very quick adoption of online services or digital services, right? So whether you like it or not, you need to do it for your own future, for
survival,
to sustain your business. You need to go online, right? No, I'm not asking you to give up offline, because I think offline and online need to balance. But going online helps you to grow your business and market your businesses to customers that you currently do not have. If you are just an offline merchant or business, in most instances, you'll only be selling to the customers within the community. If you go online, then that's where you start to grow your base. So my advice is quickly go online, quickly adopt the whole digital ecosystem. That's the way to go. Lisa?
Okay, thanks, Eric. For me, it's simple. If you have not done it already, I think the first challenge that we all faced in the past was this digital transformation. And at that point in time, it was okay if we don't adapt because we've got other alternatives as well. But things has changed drastically with the presence of Mr. COVID, which is the pandemic. So there's two forces that actually are affecting the way that we interact physically as well. So please join the bandwagon. Eric's email is eric@axiatadigital.com. Mine is unkuliza@axiatadigital.com. We'll be happy to help you in your next transformation, digital journey moving forward.
All right, great. So for all SME owner here, wait no more, right? Let us sign up e-wallet, especially Boost, right? Okay, thank you, Eric and Chi Ungu, for the knowledge shared. Okay, I believe today we have a very engaging and solid discussion today. We hope that everybody that is watching right now has learned something and know how to brand your brand and also actually grow your digitalization process here. Okay, Boost, what they call is giving away a free 2,000 coin. So the link is below here. So claim using their app right now. Okay, please sign up right now using the app here. All right, that concludes our topic for tonight. Don't go anywhere. Okay, our host will announce the winner of the machine learning box here. Till then, I will see you in 2021. Okay, today is our last event for 2020, and there will be more exciting event and activity for all our SME community. Thank you very much and good night.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night. Bye.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Eric and Miss Unku. It's a very nice session today talking about branding yourself digitally, right? So I guess you guys are waiting for me to announce the winner for Machine Learning Box. Is everyone excited? I'm very excited for you, the lucky one. Okay, let's have some drum rolls, please. And the winner for the Machine Learning Box is Team Kelvin. Yes, congratulations, Kelvin. You just won a box that will enable AI and machine learning in your office. Good job with the sharing. Yeah, we will get in touch with you shortly via WhatsApp, so do wait for our text. For those who are new here, I want to remind you to claim your Microsoft Excel training session for free by joining our closed group in the comment section. We constantly update upcoming programs, tips on digitalizing your business, and insightful content on our channels. You will also get many other exclusive benefits such as specialization courses on IR 4.0, virtual networking opportunities, and much more. Yeah, that concludes today's session. If you like what you have just heard, do like us on our Facebook and Instagram page and leave us a comment below. Thank you once again to our partners, Magic, MICCI, New Horizons, MRCA, Common Ground, Work, and PCOM. Till next time, I'm Serene, signing off from the SME Virtual Series. Merry Christmas in advance and Happy New Year. Thank you and good night.